we all got into this to be expressive and to go kind of on our own journey and to figure out the mysteries of this thing that we were really passionate about. Of course we are. But what you start to recognize as you go further into it is that the rest of the world kind of constantly challenges you to be able to do that. Which is to say, you've got bills, you've got family, you've got responsibilities. All of these things try to take you away from the studio. And for me, thinking about art as a business is really just about protecting that time that I have for myself in the studio. And it needs protecting. And so, you know, I respect also that some artists are just not into talking about business. They just want to talk about art. And I guess I get that, you know. Maybe it's not so like kind of fun or deep or intriguing to talk about the business of art. But again, for me, it's a matter of protecting what I consider very precious, and that's, you know, my time in the studio. The thing about like art sales is that it's generally very inconsistent. Even if you're quite good and you're doing quite well for yourself, it's rare that you'd be able to predict year to year what's going to happen. And that's where having these skills, you know, for instance, that I have or have built over the years, comes in handy, because when you have like a practical knowledge of how things work, and other people are kind of interested in sharing those, then you're able to work in the arts, so to stay stimulated, but also to maintain maybe some of the financial responsibility that you have. You know, what I think what you want to have is you want to have some kind of autonomy. You want to have the ability to say, well, I want to make this. And if I'm not in a market or the market isn't ready for what I want to make, you'd like to be able to say, well, that's fine. Then I'll be doing something else. But I'm still going to be making that work. I think the great tragedy is when you're forced to kind of bend the work that you make too much towards a kind of consumable idea. It's not the end of the world, but it's also not like, it's not optimum, is it? Like, you'd like to make the work that you want, and you'd like people to like it. Revolving around that idea of like professionality and how to go into being a professional artist, the thing that I tell students whenever they ask this question, or whoever, I don't want to say students, but anybody, you know, interested in this that I talk to, I try to say that you should just learn a skill. Try to learn something really well. If you learn it very well, then you have it as an asset, and you can, you know, people around the world that want to learn to draw, you know, they want people that know what they're doing. And if you know what you're doing and you know how to communicate it, you have an asset that can help you maintain your life as an artist, which is really what this is about.